Hi, my name is Barrie Crampton. Today I'm going to show you around our Land Rover Discovery, then I'll take you for a ride in it, but first I'll tell you a little bit more about it. It's a Discovery 4 3-litre SD V6 HSE automatic. It's done 72,514 miles at the moment and is MOT'd until the 22nd of the 3rd, 2023. 2013 on a 63 plate, one owner from new, great service history, fuel economy, urban 28.8 miles per gallon, extra urban 34.9 miles per gallon, and combined is 32.1 miles per gallon. Has a 0 to 60 time of 9.3 seconds, a top speed of 112 miles per hour out of a 6-cylinder 255 brake horsepower 24 valve engine. So, has keyless lock and keyless entry, keyless go to. You just press the little button so long as you've got the key on you, and mirrors fold in, car locks. Come back to the car, put your hand behind the handle, and that's it, it's open. Has the silver vents, the plastic wheel arch extensions there, multi-spoke alloy wheels, front parking sensors, the high pressure headlamp wash there, silver Land Rover grille with a big Land Rover badge, proud to be a British badge, rear privacy glass, the plastic sill protectors. Oh, it's also got the 3 sunroofs. The front one is tilt and slide, and the second and third over it's a 7-seater, one over the second row of seats and one over the third row of seats. So nice light and airy inside, but I'll show you that when we're inside. Has electric boot release and the split rear tailgate, comes in really handy. It's cutaway at this side so you can reach in further. Having said that, you can't reach into that corner there, but the third row back seats come up. They're easy enough to do. 2 catches, fold up, pull the headrests up, nip round the front and put the seat squabs down. Nice flat load area, and plenty of it too. We've got the roller blind load cover too, so pretty good design there. Just there, that's your reversing camera, and then you've also got reversing sensors in the rear bumper too. There's plenty of room in the back seat. That's where I normally have my seat. When I'm doing most cars, I've got to put my seat forward, otherwise I can never get in. But this isn't too bad. I could do with it a little bit forward to give me a bit more leg room, but that's not so bad at all. Plenty of headroom as well. You've got this glass panel above you, and you can always put this screen over if the sun gets too hot on your head. Rear Isofix child seat anchor points. These seats fold down as well, pretty flat. Gives you a massive cargo area if you need it. Lovely car. It's got the heavy duty rubber mats throughout, so carpet will be like brand new. Your heated seat controls there and 2 vents. It has the theatre seat design, so the second row passenger seats are slightly raised above the driver and the front passenger, so you can see above them, you see above the shoulders, and it's not so claustrophobic. But anyway, with the roofs, it's nice, light and airy. I'll just take you for a ride. Here we go, those are the Land Rover keys. It's, as I said before, it's keyless go. We've got 2 of them there. Foot on the brake, start button, and get the cool fan on today. This is what I consider to be a proper car. It doesn't try to be anything else. It doesn't pipe any exhaust noises into the car, so you think you've got a great sounding engine when you've just got good speakers. It's just, you know, just a great car for what it's designed for. Reversing camera there. We've got front and rear parking sensors. Got power folding door mirrors. Those are the 3 sunroofs, which give it a nice airy feel. Even when there's 7 of you in, it's a 7-seater, of course. And just so much better in surroundings like this, to be fair. Suspension's great. And again, I was in that 9-seater the other day, and if you take, I'm 14 stone, too heavy at the moment, unfortunately, but there you go. But if you've got 7 of me in the car, well, you'd only be able to have 5 of me and perhaps 2 smaller people sat in the back seat. But it's a lot of weight, and you know, the designers have to be able to make a car drive with, say, my girlfriend driving 7 stone or something. And no, she's a bit heavier than that, I think, but she'll like me for that. Anyway, you have to design a car like this that will go anywhere, will drive equally as good on the road, feel equally as safe, take corners without falling over, even though it's high off the ground, with a possibility of you know, perhaps the passengers and the cargo weighing a ton. And it's a 2-ton vehicle to start off with. I went walking the other day with my mate, and we came across a bridge across a little river out at Brotherton, and I think the maximum gross vehicle weight over the bridge was 3 tons, and I started to think, you know, one of these with a few people in it, and you'd end up in the river. But it is a lovely vehicle. Damn, service history. Never told you the service history, and it's really impressive on this. It's over and above. Need to find somewhere to pull up and tell you. I don't know. Forget my head if it was loose. So anyway, the first thing I noticed with this is steering wheel's a bit off kilter. I think it's the tyre pressures. I think it needs. Well, it's not been through the workshop yet. It's not had the pre-sales check over, and I think it needs air in the near side front tyre. So that hopefully should correct the steering wheel position. Just feels like it's pulling to the left a little bit, as if it is a low pressure in that tyre. Now, I always do this. I always try and press in the centre, and it's these bars here. Can you hear anything? Mind you, sheep don't have horns. We've got the rotary control here, the gear selector. If I just press it down and knock it over, that puts it in sport. Sharpens up the throttle and the response. Drives fine. You've also got paddle shift. There you go, change down on the left, up on the right. got the Land Rover stroke Range Rover cruise control. Does what it says on the button. One touch, set. And then you can increase your speed using that button or decrease using the bottom one. Display, rev counter on the left, information display in the center. On the right you've got your speedo. In the center in your information display you've got coolant on the left, fuel on the right, top right is outside air temperature, top left time, bottom left here it's showing you what gear you're in, and bottom right is showing you the your digital speed. If I click in the end of the indicator, let's just see, that's giving me the mileage, the date. Click again, trip A, average speed, average fuel consumption, distance left before you need to fill it, so everything you need there. Over here your display, you've got sat nav, Bluetooth, hands-free Bluetooth audio streaming. Let's just see if it does have any extra features. Alright, so it's got time climate. So you click on there, timers are off at the moment, but you can set, if it's going to be cold tomorrow or you're getting up early and you want to set the timer, set that and it'll warm it up for you. Or you can set the whole week for it to come on twice a day, when you're going to work I suppose and when you're coming home from work. So that's a good feature. But just the way they drive, they just recently had a customer who had one of these. They bought a nearly new Mitsubishi, which is a lovely car to drive, but and it was a lady, it was the lady's car, the wife's car, and she just didn't like the Mitsubishi. Didn't have the same feel, the same presence. She didn't feel as safe on the road, and I've got to say, with one of these round you do feel safe. It's a great design. No, I look at these other big four-wheel drives and they just can't seem to get close. They're just not they're not what they pretend to be, like most people. They pretend to be a big four-wheel drive, but they try and make them sporty, and it just doesn't work. You got your terrain response here. I've still forgotten. Swamp, minefield, Christmas, Mexico. There you've got hill descent. We'll give that a try. You can alter the suspension, put it up a bit if you're in a field. Just lovely. The seats are great. The seats are fantastic. Electric controls, 3-position memory seat. You set the seat and your mirrors and your steering wheel where you want, and then click memory 1. Oh, no, that was memory 3. Memory 1, and that's it. It's in that position. Whoever drove this before, just give me a bit of room there. That was memory 2 position, so I'd probably struggle to get in with me without banging my head, but you know, what easy to see, massive car. I can see completely every corner of the bonnet. And so we'll go back to my position 1. You see the mirrors change there. I don't think the steering wheel did. I'm sure the steering wheel was lower down than that. Let me just do that again. Memory 1. I'll just change the steering wheel, then go back. There we go. So the steering wheel went back, the mirrors change, and it's really good. Especially if there's a couple of you driving the car. There's nothing worse than trying to get your seat back to just how you like it. You can never do it when somebody else has been in the car, but you've no excuses with this, unless of course they override your position 1. So we've got a headlamp wash, alloy wheels, all in good condition all round. I should have pulled up back there. I must tell you the service history. Actually, I'm going to pull up here. Back turn. So here we go. I can't pull up for too long with the heat on these cameras, or else they'll go off. Got to get some airflow. 15th of 10, 2014 at 5,033 miles, Ribblesdale Land Rover. 30th of the 9th, 2015, 15,350 miles, Ribblesdale Land Rover. 6th of the 12th, 2016, 25,079 miles, Ribblesdale Land Rover. 23rd of the 1st, 2018, 34,340 miles, Ribblesdale Land Rover. 5th of the 3rd, 2019 at 44,488 miles, Ribblesdale Land Rover, and they've had the transfer case fluid done there. 5th of the 3rd, 2020 at 53,771 miles, GT Service Centre Limited, and the cam belts were done there. 12th of the 3rd, 2021 at 61,080 miles, GT Service Centre, rear brakes and brake hoses. 11th of the 3rd, 2022 at 70,745 miles, GT Service Centre, including the transmission fluid, and a pair of rear tyres. I think it's got Goodyear Wranglers on the front and Pirelli Scorpion Zeros on the back from memory. Right, let's get going again. Just give the cameras a blast. Which reminds me, you've got front and rear heated seats. You've also got heated windscreen, which is should be standard on all cars in my opinion. Especially the people that you see driving around with a letterbox in the snow on the windscreen. Those people should be made to buy one. We'll let this guy go past. You know what? I'm coming. Well, I should be retired now, but I'm coming up to retirement age, and I never expected to live this long, to be fair. So, worrying about a pension and my future, it never entered into it up to now. And with fuel prices the way they are, I normally drive a Range Rover. Or one of these. If we know Range Rovers in, then I'd have one of these. I don't need the 7 seats, and I like the styling of the Sport, the Range Rover Sport. But just recently, with fuel reaching the price it is, I thought to myself, you know, I should really be saving, and do I really need to be putting this much fuel in a Range Rover? It's just me. I just come backwards and forwards to work, and I was thinking about using a more economical car. I'd still like a four-wheel drive, you know, or an SUV to be in this sort of position, but perhaps a more economical one, and something perhaps other than a Land Rover or a Range Rover. And then I thought, nah, nah. I'll just cut down on what I eat when I retire, and my clothes or something. Life's a compromise. If you want a good car, and also the other thing is, you know, these cars are so safe. I've mentioned it before. We've had a couple of people in. The lady that bought the Range Rover from America, her Range Rover that she left, she bought an identical one off me. She left one in America, sold it to her friends, and a lorry hit her friends in the Range Rover. They were up, car was full, lorry hit it, and they were all right. You know, we've just had another customer who uses a smaller car for work. Got a young kid now, young baby, and quite rightly so. I mean, in the old days, quite a lot of people. When I was younger, you know, if you got a Volvo estate in, you'd always get a young guy in, and he'd be dying to tell you that his wife was pregnant and they were going to have a family, and he was changing his sports car, and he was looking at a Volvo estate because that's the thing that a family had to have, keep your family safe. And you don't get that so much these days. But as I say, this car, and somebody left a comment, because I was saying about how I feel differently when I've got a Range Rover up the drive, honestly, or one of these. I'm fine, because I know whatever, because I'm also like a shit magnet, and you know, things go wrong around me. My girlfriend's place, she lives in a flood area, and there's times in the past where I've had to take my hot tub pump to make sure the water doesn't come into a house and fire it off up the road. And you know, in one of these, it doesn't matter that it's flooded where you're going. But if I was in a sports car or something, I'd have to walk there. I'd have to walk there carrying me hot tub pump and like 100 yards of hose. So anyway, the one of the comments was like, for goodness sake, it might have been worse than that. For goodness sake, you're selling a car. You're not going to war. But that's it. If you wanted to, you could do. You know, all those people, all those Ukrainians that keep towing Russian tanks away in the tractors. If they didn't have a tractor, I'm betting they could tow one away in one of these. They're fantastic. They're just so good. And the British. So versatile. Use it during the week with all the seats folded flat. Do whatever job you have and get anywhere you need to, or like the farmers do around here. Mind you, farmers, that's a bad example, because farmers don't really have any days off, do they? They're working all the time like car salesmen. But you know, you can just do anything. Well, let's get out before this lorry. So lovely car, great service history, nice and tidy, good tyres all round, long MOT, and lovely to drive. That's a nice thing. So there you go. We've just arrived today as that camera's overheated and stopped. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Ta-da.